not an automated coach, but some level of automation there, so that a parent who maybe grew up playing hockey and baseball is not
Yeah.
their thing, right? And then that could happen in Canada.
Yeah.
And it could happen in the US, but only in
Yeah.
Michigan here. but but it would be I mean, we've run into this numerous times where you have a parent who's, they know that their son or daughter loves baseball or softball, and they're trying to do everything they can to give them the resources, but they don't know the difference between a curveball and a drop ball, or that they're in two different sports.
Yeah.
And so like this kind of idea of automating on some level the coaching feedback process, and not automating in terms of like diminishing the effectiveness. I think that's something important to point out here, because like one of the baselines that we always thought of with custom training was that, so custom training is really an automated coach that that is kind of the personification, right, of this analysis of your assessment, right? And then it's a coach Hewitt from uHIT, right? Sounds cute like that. So
Yeah.
Coach Hewitt takes you through what skills you're going to be working on, what speeds, what different types of pitches and pitch recognition, what zones and zone recognition, what different types of pitches and speeds there.
Yeah.
To give the player kind of like what's the next step. And those are things that like even the best hitting coach in the universe like cannot consistently always throw the perfect types of pitches
Right.
at the particular moment that's going to challenge the eyes of the hitter that he or she is working with.
Yeah.
And we hear from coaches all the time, like they're throwing batting practice all day. And we talked to a coach from a college baseball league recently who, basically threw out his shoulder because he was doing all this, short arm front toss type stuff, for 6 hours a day. And, there's no way to really simulate that kind of experience visually of being in the box. And particularly the point that you're going to develop that skill so that it's ready when the player is out there in real life on the field. So we're working with this baseline of hitting lessons. They can be anywhere from what, 50 to 150 bucks a pop. Let's say you do 4 of those a month, right? You're probably spending around $300, $400 a month just on hitting lessons alone. So we looked at uHIT custom training as being this automated coach Hewitt, that takes you through the visual side of hitting, right? The reaction side of hitting. Reaction means also not just, quick to the zone, but also being able to inhibit a swing, holding off, right?
Absolutely. That's
Right?
that
And
is.
that's a
I
skill
think the
that
utility
we have to
is so
measure when we're
fantastic.
doing player evals too, right? Is the ability of
Yeah.
a player to like shut it down, right?
Right.
So that kind of automated coach aspect is an idea that we're seeing pick up in various areas of the game. And the concept of a development resource really to be a guide for a parent, right? And also be a guide for even the hitting coach that the parents has hired, right? That can then be integrated into what's currently being chosen by the parent.
Yeah.
We've run into these kind of cases as well, where you have a player who has very clear gaps in their pitch recognition, let's say, but the parent is kind of like overwhelmed with the options that are out there, and they'll be like, oh, he's fine, he's going to hitting lessons, they'll take care of it there. But it's not exactly the same thing all the time. And so the question really is, how are those resources integrated, and how does the child maybe in that case decide, right, this is helping and that's not, or this coach is helping and this one's not. And because sometimes the parents don't know, right? And so that's where something like what the development resources are, and what we're doing with Coach Hewitt is meant to really help the parents.